Good morning. Since wand 7 failed last night, I thought I would grab a different piece off the little waiting pile over there. And this one's going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm going to try to make it look like a decent snake, I think, but it looks like a bad mustache. You know what I'm saying? You got the lips going around the lips here, and then the mustache that just couldn't quite curl. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a very interesting shape for a wand. And I struggled with where would this be held, because this is kind of like the natural holding point. But it leaves a very short wand. So you could grip it back, I guess, a little bit, but I don't know. I suspect if I have to take something off, I'll just cut it off from the back here somewhere and call it good. This is one of those, I think it's a lemon-scented eucalyptus tree. I know it's eucalyptus tree. They drop their bark. It like literally just peels off. This is not a rainbow eucalyptus tree though. It's the more drab one. So I think that's the blue gum or something like that. Anyways, that's what it is. We do have some interesting features that I don't think I'm going to be able to keep, because I think they're only bark deep in some of these cases. I told you it splits and loses its bark naturally, and I think that's kind of what we're just seeing here. I don't think these are going to stay. They might. This probably will. I might just chisel it off, but we'll see. This end, it does give a decent neck area here, so I may try to do this. It's not very wide though, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull off like a snake motif or something. We'll see how it works, and I'll just kind of keep that in mind. Really, it looks more like an earthworm or something, but you know, calling something an earthworm doesn't exactly excite somebody, except birds. I'm sure they get pretty excited about that shit. Oh hell, is it even 3 minutes in? Screw it, I don't care. Alright, so gonna be to carving this, and I don't suspect there to be a lot of problems. It's kind of thin as it is, and so really what we're going to be carving into here are just general shapes, and then smoothing it out. It's going to be kind of the overall shape is kind of what gives it the feel. What we carve into it's going to be less important because of that, I think. I mean, you've all heard this or similar stuff before, and that's never going to change. Well, I can't say never, but that's not really going to change anytime soon. So maybe I should just shut up and we should start giving this some bark, right? Yep, that's what I thought too. I like to spread some of the workload out on my chisels if they seem like they're going to work. Well, maybe those features will keep. We'll see. I do like the way the color. I do like the color of this wood, though. I wish I had gotten it when it was in the process of splitting or something, because I might have been able to keep some of that on there. Make it look like almost like a jacket parts. haven't had enough coffee for this morning, I don't think. Alright, I mean, nothing bad too. Nothing too shocking here. I mean, the wood was in good shape by the time I got to it anyhow, so I don't know how long it had been on the ground, but not very long. I'm pretty sure I got this on the IAA trail loop. And there we go. So they do regular clearings of it and stuff. So there were a lot of cut stuff I could have chosen, but I didn't do that because I don't want a branch that's been cold for no reason. Well, I can't say no reason because they're maintaining the trails and power lines and things like that. But I'd rather have deadfall, even though it makes it obviously increases the risk of wood rot that can't be compensated for and things like that. But it does make more unique pieces. Kind of looks like an eye. Anyway, so I got to this piece not long after it had dropped. Anyway, so there were a lot of cut versions of this laying around in different states, so that's why I was reasonably sure what it was. Because it was next to the tree, right? So there were a clump of like 4 or 5 trees, so I didn't know exactly which one. They were all the same, so. Okay. Clean this up a little bit here. Alright, we're about halfway done with the removal. Alright. And I forget which wand it was. It might have been the last one, but I know I worked on a piece of this stuff, I think from this same branch for a friend of mine. And here, so let me get this out of the way. Works pretty well. It's pretty solid wood. And oops. I was about to say that piece didn't have a whole lot of rot on it either. Well, it came from the same branch, so kind of makes sense, right? Ends are going to be, some of the ends of some of these open spots are going to be more susceptible to that, of course. But this is looking in pretty decent shape. There's a little wavy effect going on here, probably where some branches were forming or had at one point and just dropped off and healed over or something. But it's being a little bit more difficult back there than I would expect. Oh, my damn hand's cramping already. Whew. It's odd. mean, kind of expected with wand's what, 6. You know, the boring wand. All right, got about enough off of it to give it a good looking over, and I'm not seeing anything, at least superficially, that warrants a lot of attention. So yeah, it's all right. It's got some drying cracks, but it doesn't matter. Decent piece. I'm gonna try to keep some of these. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I probably won't be able to keep a lot of them, but also we'll see. I want the wand to take shape a little bit more before I just go ahead and start cutting off features that at least give it something distinct to look at. Okay. So nothing bad coming to mind. This for the handle, probably have to smooth this out a little bit right here, just with a file. You know, not that big a deal. Smooth this area out if that's where somebody's going to grip, and it would make sense to grip like that. This isn't a very pointy wand. Since it curls up like this instead of downwards in some ways. I did wonder and grab the other end of it, but it just doesn't feel, it's still curving up down on that one end, so I'm not really getting anything out of that, gripping it that way. So I don't know, I have no idea what I would call this thing. Maybe it'll take shape. If this ended up being like a snake, it'd be more like a garter snake. There's no viper end going on here. So let me get a headband. It's hot as hell in this garage, and I'm gonna be sweating into my eyes. All right. Red lead. I kind of like, if I was going to turn this into snakes, I'll probably just work on this end right over here for now, but I kind of want to keep this because it makes the snake look thicker than it actually would probably be. So I'd probably take it in a little bit here, and I might have to take this down some. I'm trying to keep this, but take this down a little bit just to emphasize the curve a little more. We already have a natural inclination like this. I really wish it would have gone over here, but you know, wish in one hand and shit in the other, right? So let's just go ahead and accentuate some of these curves. Right, not gonna do anything too drastic quite yet. I do want to lower this a little bit though, to give it a more of a. This has to be thinner than this end piece if it's gonna be a snake, or it's not gonna look quite right. Just go ahead and take down some of this. Let's go ahead and take down some of this. All right, let's just roll with that for now. All right, getting past some of that outer bark there, showing the lighter colored bark underneath. bark, wood. Jesus. Okay. Man, that just does. I mean, I don't know what would have a bill this long, but that just does look like a decently sized eye, you know. I wonder if it's been a while since I've seen a picture, but it kind of reminds me of an alligator gar a little bit, you know, with the snout going on. I mean, it's not quite, the head's not shaped quite right, of course, but it's kind of what it reminds me of. I may actually go with that instead of this whole earthworm thing. I mean, I guess it would look most appropriate with a left-handed user if you wanted to see it, but it doesn't mean it couldn't just be displayed that way. And then this would be the bill, which means we'd flatten this. Huh. Maybe that's what we should do. Screw it, let's do it. Alright, in that case, let's get rid of some of this. Just in general, because I want this rounded now. Huh. Exact opposite of how I would have grabbed it if I was looking at it from a snake point of view. Huh. Alright. Let's do it. Alright, what's my time? 18. Yeah, we have time for a couple more things. Alright, let's go ahead and take some of this in. Worry about the back part of it later. I need some of this to be reduced to give it the more of a gradual look from that side. Alright. Okay. Okay. Right. Alright, that's what we're looking at in the first video here. We'll have some more stuff going on. At least it stands itself up that way too. Not straight, but that's because of this, which I'm not going to get rid of. So, alright, well, I guess we know which way the wand is facing. This end up, and we'll go from there. This is probably going to be like a thin, flatter wand right here is kind of where I'm thinking this is going to go. Make it look more like a bill than a tapered point. So it's kind of what we're going to go with, and we'll just see how long that can be maintained. I do like this hump right here, so I'm going to try to maintain that, but that's going to be kind of hard to do as we taper all of this down. There's going to be less wiggle room for carving it off and then making adjustments here to make it look like it's back again. So We'll see. Probably take some of this in here. Depends on how flat we want this to be. And yeah, so I guess when we know what we're doing here on the next video, I absolutely need some more coffee. So take care.